What's up, guys? Back here again. Another quick video. Just kind of want to take a look at, I guess, the scape and the setup that I put together for this new top fin tank from PetSmart. The top fin Engage is a 5-gallon tank. It is an all glass tank. A little bit about, let's see, the scape. I used the same artificial piece of driftwood that I had in the top fin ease. I actually took down the top fin ease and replaced it with this tank. Has a lot of the same form factor as the ease, but as you can tell, it's a lot bigger. I can put a lot more things in it. I have in here just that same betta that I had in here before. I might even, if I decide, maybe put in maybe 2 or 3 smaller fish, maybe some tetras or something like that. That'll get along with the betta, but that's a little bit down the road. What else can I tell you? As you can see, I'm not using the lid. I'm using that same light that I used on the ease, just because, to put it simply, the lights that came with this tank aren't that good, and that's putting it delicately. I thought, when I filled it up, that other video when I put water in it and I filled it up, I thought the lights were relatively bright, but when I kind of had everything set up and I wanted to use the lid, they did not look to be that bright at all, especially compared to this. A little bit about the scape. I've got some crypts in here. All these plants, I've pulled out of other tanks and kind of, was able to quickly put together, a decent scape just so I could, kind of get this review out, and so you guys can take a look at it. I have a Nubius in here. In the back behind here, I've got some Java Fern. I've got some of the S Repens up front. I got another Nubius down here. Got some of that Kabamba plant back here. These are some Rotala that I picked up at my local store. So hopefully those grow in and kind of get some height to this area over here. And I'm using that same internal filter as well. That combined with the filtration here, which I'll get into in a little bit, creates a decent amount of surface area. Not too much where it's pushing the fish around or anything like that. Betta fish are labyrinth fish, so they will from time to time go up and get a gulp of air. So you don't want too much surface agitation, or you don't want a flow that's pushing outward like this, where it's pushing the fish around. I like these internal filters because the flow goes directly up, not out, so it's not really affecting any of the water in the water column, just kind of creating some agitation on the surface. What else can I talk about? So as far as the filtration, a couple things. This and I may do another video kind of just highlighting how this works, but essentially, if you guys remember in the other video, you turn this and essentially this is the outtake. So this moves. You can drain water that way. My only concern with that is, you still would want to, put a siphon in here and kind of try and get some of the debris and detritus down in throughout the tank and the water column, which I think is a lot better way to do a water change than just essentially draining water out of a tank, if that makes sense. Another thing is I replaced the filter cartridge with some sponge here. You can see that to house more beneficial bacteria. And another thing that's kind of confusing about this tank is, from essentially here over is an empty space. So I threw some other sponges in here. I got a heater in here, but there's literally a ton of space that's pretty, vacant back here, which, I think they could have done a better job, maybe, maybe even this part of the tank, this background, which I actually think is kind of cool. Wasn't a big fan of it at first, but I think it's kind of cool. But I'm thinking, like, is it really necessary? Because really all your filtration is housed in this kind of third of the tank right here. Then you have all this open space over here. So maybe I set it up wrong. If somebody picks this tank up, let me know. What other ideas you guys come up with. But this is just a lot of empty space over here that at first glance there's really not any use for, so that's just kind of something to consider. Like I said, I am a fan of the white background. I do have this in my bedroom, and I kind of love the way it, how a light kind of cascades off that. I'm liking just the more surface area, the more space I have with this tank than I did the top fin ease. I absolutely love the top fin ease, don't get me wrong, but this is, the same, relatively the same shape and form factor, just a lot bigger than the top fin ease. So, obviously there's a lot more flexibility, a lot more, ideas I can do with this tank than that 3-gallon tank. So, what else? I'm trying to think of some of the questions I've been getting online. I used fluval stratum down here. I may even, put some more and maybe fill in some more plants back here and back over here. We'll see, but just a relatively simple scape so far. Just kind of wanted to get it up and kind of get this video out there so everyone can kind of take a look at how it looks like, or how it looks, when it's all set up. So, any questions, any comments, anything like that down below. I look forward to doing my best to help you guys out. Please leave them. Also, if there's any other videos or any other topics you guys want me to cover, please let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I always try and do my best to give an honest opinion, help out as many people as I can. So, with that being said, I look forward to hearing from you guys, and talk to you guys down the road. Bye.